Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm Glyn from the GJ Diary, and today we're going to be looking at the rear springs on the Mk4 Mondeo estate. Okay, so the first thing to do is to jack your vehicle up safely, making sure that you have axle stands properly, all your safety features. And then we can continue. Got a big 15mm nut on the bottom here. Give that a good liberal dosing of WD-40. Don't forget on the bolt head side and on the nut side as well. Can you see that? It's in there somewhere. Yeah, there you go. Give it a good spray of WD-40. So the first issue that I found is that this is the original spring, original as far as I know, and we've got a green and orange marker on it. Now the replacement springs that I've got are these ones, and as you can see they've got a pinky salmon and orange marker. So I'm sure these are Mk4 Mondeo, but we'll just have to wait and see. What I'll do is, once I get the old spring off, I will just measure them together, put them together, make sure they're the same size, same diameter, and same length. I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, so with the bolt removed, we can now basically just lower the jack slowly, very, very slowly. And when we start to lower the jack, we just take the very, very gently with this, because you've got the spring there. Just releasing the tension on the spring, nice and slow, nice and gentle. just managed to get that bottom link out of the hub carrier. Sorry, that bottom arm out of the hub carrier, because so it was stuck actually in here. This is where it was stuck, and it was literally, it's not been out there for quite a long time, and it had rusted in, so I literally just jacked up underneath the I don't know if you can see that, just literally just jack up the under the disc there, just make sure that that you haven't got any contaminants on it. But yeah, and that just by jacking up there, just force the suspension up, just raise the suspension just a little bit, and then it just literally it came out all in one go. And if you can see on the floor, there's quite a lot of rust and bits and pieces came out of it at the same time, so that's all good. Right, okay, onwards and upwards. Now we can change our spring, and once we've changed our spring, then we can get this put back together. Okay, back in a mo. So next thing we're going to do is remove our spring, and to do that, what I've got to do is literally push down here. This there's like a little, I don't know what you call it, moulding on the top of here, on top of the spring, and that locates in the body. But literally, yeah, just push that right down. And then get that out of there like that. There we go. That's our old one. Let's see the damage on it. I don't know if you can see the damage on it. I hope you can. Yeah, I mean, this has literally got to, this just lifts out. See that? That there, so that's how it locates. Let me just put that back there. I think you can see that now. So that is the top of the spring there. Just where my thumb is, and that's like the stop on the spring. So again, that's the top of it, and it actually goes in a kind of a rectangular way like that. But yeah, that's the actual stop on the spring just there. So that's all good. Let's have a look what we got. These are the springs that we're actually going to be putting on the car. As you can see, the genuine Ford parts for the Mk4 Mondeo estate, rear springs. So these are the ones that we're going to put on. So by putting these two springs in the same orientation, we can see that literally the paint mark is on the 1-2, it's on the third coil, and on the old one the paint mark's on the 1-2 on the third coil. So hopefully we're doing everything correct and by the book, and we'll get this on now. do here is put the assembly back on the top here, and then just keep rotating it round. Don't know if you can see that too well. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just keep rotating that past that and onto the stock. And that's in perfect condition. That's in the perfect position. Cool. We'll get this on the car now. And that's just a little peek inside. Just give me 1 minute. Torch. That's literally a little peek inside the bowl of the rear arm. Everything looks pretty clean, to be honest. There, no major problems. Just looks like that. It's like a little rubber seal in there that has just moved a little bit, but that's fine. We'll put the spring back in, and away we go. gander, see where we're at, nice and gently again. So, as we jack this up now, what we're going to do is just see if we can get it lined up. See if we can get it lined up. That's not one yet. Actually going up as one. So what I've noticed here is I've had to jack the car up quite high. So basically, when you, let me get this right, when you have the lower arm and the hub carrier quite low down, so the bolt here, you know, kind of goes in like that, and you can see it there. However, the hole it comes out at seems to be higher. Now what you've got to do is you've got to jack up your car, sorry, what am I talking about? You've got to jack up your underneath the hub carrier there quite high in order to get it absolutely level. And now that looks pretty level to me. So what I'm going to try and do is I'll try and start winding it in now, and we'll see where we go. Yeah, it's going in straight away. Perfect. Just what we want. It looks like there's a little bit of a hole underneath, so I'll just try to jack it up just a tiny fraction more, see if that makes any difference whatsoever. I'm not saying it will or it won't, but okay, I think you can see that okay. So let's carry on. Let's try and wind this bolt in, and then after we've got this bolt in, we're going to be, let's have a look at the other side. Yep, bolts come through, and that's all good. We're going to actually be torquing this bolt up to 120 Newton meters. Most of the work before we put the torque wrench on. Now when I was taking it off, I was taking the bolt off, I've got an old torque wrench which the internals on that are completely shot. So I do use that for quite, you know, large bolts that are got a lot of torque on them. Especially if they, like this one, you know, they've not been removed in a long time. So yeah, there we go, that bolt's in. We'll get that torqued up now, and then yeah, we're looking pretty good there. Back in a tick. 120. Yeah. I'll do it a couple of times just to make sure. And that's your bolt torqued up. That's your new spring on. Let's try and get some light in there. Yeah. Yeah, looking pretty good. Quite happy with that. Hopefully do a good job. Help us get through the MOT. Your job's a good one. Right. Same old same here now. Lower this down. Be very, very gentle whenever you're working with a spring. And as you are, although everything's torqued, up, still you just want to be careful there. Okay, sometimes you have to do things twice. It really isn't my preferred method, but you know, mistakes happen. I forgot to put the snubbers in, and here they are. Now this is the original one. Let's come out so you can see the bottom of that. That's completely shot. And then just as a comparison, that's a brand new one. So yeah, some of that has been seriously eaten away. I don't think it comes across too well out there on the camera, but if I level them up, yeah, there you go, you can see that. Right, so let's get this back in, and how it goes in is basically I've taken this off. This goes in here. Like so. Give me a moment, might have to soften it up. I'll come back to you in a moment. Actually, well, there we are. Yep, it's done it. Didn't need any boiling hot water or anything. Snubbers in. That then sits back on the top here. Bear with us. Yeah. So spring there in the right place. All right. This down on here. Locked and loaded, and then this back in the car. Okay, when I do the rear right, I'll do it right first time, but yeah, we're on a learning curve here. There's no shame in making a mistake. And there she is, as if by magic, by the miracle of modern technology, we have our snubbers fitted. Snubber, rather. Yes, doesn't she look a beaut? Right, okay. On to the next problem, the damper.